All right, so today we are looking at a new iPad case. Well, and these you can get these cases from these guys here. This is Nillkin. They make a bunch of different cases for different iPads, tablets, etc., etc. I'll put links down below if you guys are at all interested. Anyways, I have the original iPad Air that came with USB-C, so the 11-inch. So they reached out to me and asked if I had a tablet that could be tested, and I said, "This is the one I have." And they said, "Well, this is the case that we'll send you." And I said, "Okay." Anyways, well, this is their bumper link keyboard case. But it's cool because it does have, as you can see here, a sliding camera cover. We'll see if that actually fits. Now, I have my iPad over here in a case that I had previously. And I'll be honest, the case is fine. It's worked. It's done its job, right? It's a keyboard case. It has a little stand, has a little keyboard, it's got a little trackpad, does everything that you would expect it to do. It doesn't really have a pencil slot, right? As you can see in it on this one, it doesn't have a pencil slot. You could put the pencil in here and it's kind of wrap the cover around. Um, that's kind of it. No camera cover, no camera cover. So, am I missing out? Yeah, maybe, I guess. Anyways, I haven't taken this out of this cover in a while. Anyways, this my guess is, if you look at the Apple, of course, the actual Apple cases, um, they're not inexpensive by any means. Are they good quality? Yeah, without question. They're probably, one of the better quality that you're gonna get. But you without question pay for that, right? You pay for that quality. And is it that amount better than some of the third party stuff? I myself don't think so. I don't think so. Anyways, I'm gonna just put this over here off to the side just for a second. We'll come back to that. Again, this is it here, right? Bumper link keyboard case. So a few features: backlit system. Oh, yeah, that's all right. Backlit system allows you to working at night. Silent keys that you record during meetings, lectures. Reasonable key layout. I think that's funny that they say that, right? Reasonable key layout provides comfortable typing. Adjustable bracket relieves neck fatigue. Has a large touchpad, patented camera cover. I like that. And magnetic detachable design. Very cool. A lot of nice things, right? So we'll just slice that open and take a look. What does this have? It's well, packaged. Like it's got nice presentation. You get this and you're thinking, I bought something lovely. You have a little user manual. Okay. We have another thing here that's stuck to something else. What is that? I got a little bit of confusion here. I don't even know what this is. What is this? This is Discover Innovation Nillkin Snap Hold Ultra Magnetic Sticker applied to walls or other fixed surfaces. Ah, so you could stick that somewhere and then you could stick your iPad to it. Is my guess is what they're telling me. Yes. Product explanation. And then it says this product should be used with a Nillkin Snap Link Ultra Magnetic Sticker or protective case with built-in Nillkin Snap Link Ultra Magnetic Sticker. I'm guessing it comes in this box. Do I have that? I don't. I don't really know. I don't really know. It's in. Why would they put it in the box if that's not something that I got? Anyways, this is the case. You do get a little cable here. This is the Link keyboard case. It's a big box. It better be a big USB-C cable. If not, that's a lot. That's a lot of box. Well, no, it's decent, right? USB-A to USB-C. Okay, it's charging cable. It is what it is, right? Charging cable. And okay. All right. Let's take a look. I'm curious now about this little ring thing. Again, I don't know if I'll be sticking anything on my walls, but mm, mm, you never know, right? This is definitely a more heavy duty case than my previous case. I want you guys to see my previous case, right? My previous case looked very Apple-esque, right? It's fine. Okay, so here it is. Exciting, yes. I want to make sure my camera is focused holes. I've been having all kinds of issues with focus lately. Maybe it's just too much light. How's that? Good? Good. anyways, here it is. Now, one thing to realize too, I hear this. I was watching a bunch of videos on cases and stuff like that previously, and everyone's like, it makes your iPad heavier. Clothes make me heavier. It is what it is, right? And the more protection that you want for your iPad, the heavier it's going to be. So if you want something, this one's like it's got some weight to it, but it's not out of control weight. It actually, based on how it looks, I would have thought it was going to weigh more. So it comes through pretty good. It's got a really nice kind of texture feel to it. It actually feels like when you take it out of the box, very well built. Now they come in, I think Canadian wise, I'm thinking about 150-ish dollars. I think it is somewhere in that range. So definitely not inexpensive, but you know what? If you have $800, $1,000 or higher, uh, amount of money invested into an iPad, you probably want to protect it, right? So anyways, this is it here. This is going to be the hinge section, right? That you can lift up and down. So of course, this would be how this kind of sits in this kind of orientation like that. So this, of course, you can lift it up all the way so it's like flat. Now, be aware, I don't know how strong, we'll put my iPad in here, but once you really start getting up to that like flat, a lot of times the weight of the actual iPad starts to push this down. So there is kind of a point of, no return that you get past that and it's going to start to teeter. We'll do a test. This one does have, as you can see, a spot for the actual pencil, which is actually really nice. I don't have that on my current one, and I do have a pencil. Where is it? 100% right now. I don't know. And that's the issue with having an iPad case. It doesn't have a pencil slot in it, right? It's probably somewhere. Well, I can guarantee you it's somewhere. Silicone, cool. Don't do anything with that because that's gonna give you bad feelings. Some foam, same idea. We're gonna put that away, so that none of the youngins or the critters decide that they want to see what that tastes like, because that's also bad. And then we'll turn this around again. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. There are some little sticky pieces in here, so just make sure you kind of get all that stuff off so that you get it doing what it's supposed to. Oh, there's that little magnet right there. Yes, you guys see that? There's that magnet. Anyways, it does have a little bit of a keyboard connection, right? So operating steps for the keyboard. I now primarily want to see if my iPad fits in here because that's kind of important. So we'll just kind of stick that in. So this is, let's hope. Let's hope. They said it would fit. They said, yeah, we have one that'll fit that. Sure we do. Right? Do they? Let's find out. Yep. Yep. So I say yep without doing this properly. This part is a kind of the flexible part right here, this bottom corner. This corner, not so much. So just make sure that when you're putting this in, you kind of come in from the top here and get that in, right? That corner in there. You want to make sure those corners are in, right? Once you're in there, then you can push this down and you'll see it wraps up over top of it and we're good. If you try to come in from the bottom, you're probably going to have issues. Now, the other thing too to be aware of, that goes in tight, which is good. It's not going to fall out. But it also means that if you want to take this out, there's probably going to be, it should bend okay. It should bend okay. You should be okay there. My iPad is filthy. Filthy. Again, I don't use it that much. First thing, ready? That comes off. There's a little magnet there. Yes? Which this, as you can see, you got that nice little iPad, right? This, if we stuck on the wall, yeah, right? You could, holy moly. That's okay. That's got some stick to it, right? Like once it's on there, yes, sir. You could, as long as the sticker stuff on here is good. Again, if you're putting it on something, I wouldn't put it necessarily on maybe like something that the paint could peel off, right? But if you put this on your fridge or some metal or you had some tiles or something like that in the kitchen, oh yes, that's got some stuff to it. Oh, there's another one back here. Look at that. There we go. And then you can get to see the color of your iPad because you bought a color because you wanted that color. And even though I have only one baby camera on here, there is protection for it. So that is also good. If I'm traveling, I can actually stick that in there, make sure my camera's protected. And yeah, that's all right. Please ignore the dirt. I should have cleaned it, but I didn't. Then this just snaps on there. Again, you have your little stand. So this, nope, that's not the stand. This is the stand. It comes this way. All right. So if you're sitting like so, okay, that's good. If you get down, oh, even there's good. There's good. Well, it seems to hold it. Now I don't know how well it would be if you had like the 13-inch or like the big iPad. All right, that doesn't do too bad. I like that. Again, it closes up nice with the magnet. Okay, that's decent. And again, I don't find it like overly heavy in comparison to how much the iPad is just by itself. Let's connect this, shall we? So let's turn this on. Now, the one thing you may find is it may be hard to get like the touch sensor there. My touch, right? It's unlock. Let's see. Yeah, because there's a protection here. It's hard to get your finger inserted on that touch sensor. So it works, but it's a little difficult. Anyways, let's go here. Let's go into our Bluetooth. Bluetooth right here. Okay, I'm just gonna scroll to the bottom. It does say toggle the switch to on. So you look up here and you're like, okay, where's this on toggle that you speak of? Because it's all kinds of importance. Yes, there it is on the side. So there's your USBs for charging, and there's your toggle switch. So let's toggle it. Maybe that is on now. Oh yeah, the keyboard actually lit up. You guys may not be able to see that, but it did light up. Again, we'll look at the bottom here. And press the function C key. Okay, function C key. It even says connect. And Bluetooth keyboard right there. Click. Let's see if that works. Seems to have connected. Yes. Let's just do a command tab. Yep. Everything seems to be working fine through there. We can go through that way and we can go through that way. Very nice. We have arrow keys. So arrow keys are a little different. Arrow keys only seem to let you open up the next one, right? So as you can see here, if I was in Safari and I went to photos, it automatically seems to open it. That's a little weird. But what happens if I hold it? No, because it keeps going. If I down arrow, no, just opens that one. Tab, yeah, tabs we get to go through. Okay, it is what it is. Seems to be fine. This little flippy thing here, I don't know if you could, I don't know, tuck that down somewhere. Okay, we have our mouse. The mouse seems fine, right? That seems fine. We can come here and open whatever. Just open Safari, right? Click. It all seems good. If I went YouTube, right? Let's see, youtube.com/me. Keys are a little smaller, like your enter key and all that is smaller. So if you're used to a full size keyboard, it may take you a little bit of time to get used to. Because for me, I usually click over here, which is a little bit beyond. The enter key is small, so they're taller and wider. The keys are. Even these ones here, right? They're very tall and wide, and the other ones seem to be that way as well. But that's okay. We do have this, right? So you have different levels of your actual keyboard brightness, depending on what you want. You have your actual screen brightness here, which is good. You have keyboard. I don't know what that one is. But there's your search. So your search can bring up, you got your search come up, your actual music controls. You have your volume controls. And then you have your lock. I'm guessing if you hold the lock, well, yeah, so it locks it. Cool, right? I'll just do this. And I guess with this one too, like if you're tapping, once it's up here, if you wanted to go all the way to the end, you could just simply just tap on it, right? It is still an iPad. You got to remember that it's not as if it's running like Mac OS or anything like that. It still is running iPad OS. Now you do have some little things here too. And I think like there's a little command button here. You could see what your battery is, maybe. Double click on it. No. But anyways, if you were charging, you have a charge light, you have a Bluetooth light, and then you have I'm not really sure what that one is. One of them, I'm pretty sure, like the battery ones, because you see a battery icon. Oh, it's probably function. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys can see it. It's a little blinking light. So it blinks like a lot of things do, right? If it blinks once and then pauses, it's 25%. If it blinks twice, it's around 50%. If it blinks 3 times, it's between 50 and 75%. And if it blinks 4 times, it's between 75 and 100. So, right. So you can just kind of tap that, hit there. You'll see this one flash. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then stop. So I'm somewhere between 75 and 100%. Good. Yeah. You know what? It's good. It's a good little thing. I'm not 100% sure I like this little flappy thing. Did my other thing have a flappy thing? I'm curious, right? This part, I don't know if I necessarily like a lot. But my guess would be after some time, it would straighten out and just lay there. I kind of wish there was a way to, maybe you can just, put your phone there or something, right? Just drop it there so that it's, I don't know if you guys, I've just moved it so you can see, right? This is that flappy thing I'm talking about. So you kind of have to lay something on there just to kind of get going. But other than that, you know what? Again, you can slide back and forth. If you're in the Photos app, my guess would be, right, if I was here and I was looking at, I don't know, let's look at this picture, right? I have the ability, I think, yeah, so I can zoom in and zoom out, and I can slide between photos, right? All kinds of cool stuff. It kind of bridges the gap a little bit between an iPad and like a MacBook, right? A laptop. It makes it more laptop-esque. Just realize it still is an iPad, right? It still is going to be running the iPad operating system. And that's not to say that's a bad thing. That's why you bought this. I think the keyboard is good. It's well built. The keys themselves, right? They're not like super loud. They're not clanky. If you like clanky, then you may not be happy with it. But it's good. I like the backlight. Uh, yeah. This thing here, I don't necessarily know if I like that. I wish there was a way that they put like a magnet in the top corners here and a magnet down here so that when it closed, it just kind of magnetized itself, right? I like that. I like the fact that you can take this whole piece off. So if you don't want to carry the keyboard with you, this is easy to take with you. That's kind of nice. And I don't know if I'll necessarily use it all the time, but I do kind of think this is cool. And what I've seen on their website is they actually have like an iPad stand. It's a stand. Of course, it has basically one of these in the back. So you could use that to connect with this. Cool. Sure. And I don't think it's very expensive. Maybe like $50 or something like that. Again, I'm talking Canadian dollars. Anyways, I'll leave links to their website if you guys are at all interested. You can check this case out. You can check out some of their other stuff. And again, if you have an iPad Air, an iPad Pro, you should be able to find some kind of case that works. All right, guys, links down below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the little notification bell, and I will see you fine folks next video. Later.